In Nkandla this afternoon. That's Ayanda Mhlongo. Very good afternoon to you, Ayanda. We've seen some calls. I've seen some on social media, in fact, for supporters of former President Jacob Zuma to arrive at Nkandla. I suppose those calls are indeed being heeded. As we are hearing, there are some people that will be arriving, and indeed the MKMVA is camping outside. What can you tell us about what's happening there at the moment?
A very good afternoon to you, Flo, and good afternoon to our viewers at home. Yeah, from the morning, Flo, we were expecting crowds to start gathering here outside the home of the former president. And of course, that is taking what we were told by former President Jacob Zuma's son, Edward Zuma, when we spoke to him. And some of the members of the ANC and those that have previously mobilized support for the former president, saying that they had expected that from this morning, a lot of community members, members of the ANC and just general public who support the former president would come out here in their numbers. But I must say that from the morning, it has been very quiet. It has just been the members of Umkhonto, Sizwe Military Veterans Association, who of course have been camped out here outside the former president's home since February, when they moved in here. And I'm just going to move out of shot, and my colleague Ndabazintla to show you at the gate the three MKMVA members there standing guard at the entrance to the former president's home, and they have been standing guard here like that since the morning. Let me just move a little bit this side again, Flo, and try to see across from where we are. That is the area that has been used as a camp by the MKMVA. That Navy marquee there is where they have been sleeping, and now you see a lot more vehicles now in this little area that has been cordoned off. So I think since the time we've been here yesterday, we have really not seen as many people. So slowly people seem to be coming through here. Throughout the course of the day, we've had an opportunity to speak to members of members of Jacob Zuma's family. We spoke to his brother Babukanya Zuma and also his son Edward, and of course they are still maintaining their stance and telling us that they are not going to allow the former president to be imprisoned. They are saying that the former president will not hand himself over to the authorities, and if the authorities then decide to come and arrest him, they are saying that they're willing to lay down their lives for him. Again, the members of the MKMVA also sharing the same views, that they are here to protect and defend the former president. The family is saying that they were shocked and they're outraged by the decision of the Constitutional Court. In fact, they were saying that as far as they were aware, the former president had filed an application in a Gauteng court to seek the recusal of Judge Raymond Zondo as the chairperson of the Zondo Commission, and they're saying that the court and the commission ignored that application, and so they are spitting fire, Flow, I think would be the best way to describe how they are feeling in the outrage towards what has happened and the fact that the former president will have to spend the next 15 months behind bars.
I'm just seeking clarity on a short video that I've seen being sent around, on our social media as well as, WhatsApps and so forth, where it looked as though a police van had indeed arrived at the gates at the home of the former president, and it seemed as though that particular vehicle, that police vehicle, was turned back by the MKMVA. Obviously, with these kinds of videos, one never knows if it's an old video or whether it's even accurate, or even if it was outside indeed the home of the former president. What can you tell us about whether or not, I don't see behind you at the moment any police, and so I wonder if there was at any stage some sort of police presence. Of course, it's 5 days has been given to the former president to arrive at Nkandla police station, so obviously that sort of momentum will start to pick up. But at this stage, or have you indeed seen police being turned back at any time?
Flo, yes, what the video that is circulating is an incident that indeed did take place here around midday here. A police van from the Nkandla police station with 3 police officers did approach the entrance of the former president's home, and the members of Umkhonto then moved towards the van and blockaded it in the front, meaning that the police officers would not be able to then move and gain entry into their home. One of those that we understand are leading this group of members of the MKMVA then approached the police officers in the van with the book, and although at a distance where we are, because they have prevented us from moving anywhere closer to the gate, so we could not hear what the discussion was between them and the police officers. We just saw the members of the MKMVA surrounding the van. Others were looking underneath the van, inspecting the van, but for what reason we are unsure. A few minutes later, after they presented the police officer that was in that vehicle with a book, and we don't know as well what that book was about, whether it was a logbook of people who come in or out of the president's home. That police vehicle then did a U-turn and left. The members of the MKMVA do not want to tell us, of course, what was the reason. So at this point, we do not know whether or not they were chased away, or whether or not the police officers were possibly just patrolling and stopped to speak to the members of the MKMVA to find out what is happening around here. But indeed, that incident with the police van did happen, and we saw that van left. And as I was saying, Flo, the MKMVA not willing to explain to us what happened and whether indeed they were the ones that turned their vehicle away. But just speaking about this incident, Flo, it's not the first time that we've seen them behave in such a manner. When we were here in February again, every vehicle that came through here, they would stop and they would interrogate the drivers and would, as we understand, check with the police officers that are at the second gate leading into the president's home whether or not that person was permitted to enter the president's home. So a scene like this, for us who have been here on many occasions, is something that we have seen before. You'd remember, Flo, that around February as well, when we were here and the members of the MKMVA had first camped outside the home, the police minister, Bekele, had come to hold a meeting with the former president. And again, the members of the MKMVA prevented the minister for a minute from entering. One of his security guards then had to get out of the vehicle, speak to them. It was then the presidential security that came up to the gate and requested that the members of the MKMVA allow the minister into the president's home. So we have seen these scenes happen before. I must say, Flo, that they are very hostile at this time around. All right,
and let's catch up with you later on. No doubt you'll be stationed there for us for that duration and for that 5-day that everybody is sort of anticipating at this time as to what will in fact happen. Ayanda Mhlongo, as always, thank you very much. Thanks for your reporting. All right, that's Ayanda Mhlongo for us outside the home of former President Jacob Zuma in Nkandla, where, as you can see there, some MKMVA members are camping outside those gates. We'll certainly be bringing you rolling footage and whatever does happen, in fact, outside the home of the former president. Well,